the Chatham Park area as far as the Alliance?
So we have a public-private here. It's
Okay.
still Chatham County is set up more traditionally with it's a department of the county, but we have a private sector. Where's Greg? Greg is the chairman of the chairman of the EDC. Well, immediate past chairman of the Chatham EDC board, but we did a capital campaign, and I didn't talk about that, but we raised about $1.3 million over 5 years, and did similar amount here in Chatham County. And so that has happened. The chamber and the Economic Development Corporation are separate here, but it's been very impactful. I mean, having $9 billion in investment, 9,000 jobs in a 12-month period is unprecedented. The two of the was the largest job get ever with Vinfast and 7,500, and the largest single investment with Wolfspeed at $5 billion. So pretty amazing in one county, Chatham.
And you're teeing me up for my next question.
Okay.
Perfectly. So with those folks coming into Chatham County, Toyota, Wolfspeed, Vinfast, they're all bringing, in addition to them bringing major jobs, can you talk to us about what they bring to the community? What the trickle down from that may be? So
there's something called the JDIG, Job Development Incentive Grant, and they another sort of piece of the puzzle that happened to get these mega sites going was legislation, because they had our incentive system on the books was not really set up to scale for these types of projects. So in 2012 or 2013, they passed a transformational JDIG, and it's based on a model of investment that was created by Mike Walden at NC State. And it assumes that for every primary direct job that the company is going to bring, that there will be 3 to 4 indirect jobs. Now, some of those are suppliers, but they're everything. I mean, you can imagine here, if you try and get an appointment at a pediatric dentist, there's no available slots. So we need dentists, we need cosmetologists, we need just about everything here in this community. And so those 3 to 4 indirect jobs are those. To do that, you got to have sewer so that you can have commercial spaces built so that you can have all those jobs. But that's what you'll see over time. That's going to, we built this project knowing that those kinds of things were coming. One of the things that because of lack of sewer in Chatham County, most people have to drive 25 to 30 minutes to do anything, and so we felt like if we built something here, there was still, with 75,000 people in the county, there'd be enough folks to come in and support what we were doing, and then we could add to it as this growth happened. But that's what's going to change here. So.
Well, and speaking of change, Pittsboro has a special kind of quirkiness to it, and special kind of just culture. How do you balance between keeping that culture, keeping that specialness, and the growth that's coming like it or not?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, most people won't agree with this, but I would, not most, some people will not agree with this, but change is hard to avoid in a growing state like North Carolina and an area like the Triangle. And so where I think Pittsboro is fortunate is that the Preston group, Tim Smith and Bubba Raw, decided to create this 8,500 acre master plan community, because it's allowed for the scaling you need for the residential and commercial services that are important to support the growth. But you also, by doing it on such a large palette, you're able to do a lot of neat things. So what do I mean by that? Well, first and foremost, it was a very long entitlement process. A lot of people don't even remember this and haven't ever looked at it, but there's 12 or 21 elements. I can't think of all of them, but they deal with everything from affordable housing to... I think it was 24. Affordable housing, stormwater, parks, open space, etc. So if you haven't ever looked at those, I encourage you to do so. There's I think on the Chatham Park website or the town of Pittsboro, you can download and read those. But 7.5% of the 25,000 units here are going to be affordable housing and workforce housing. There's gonna be 30% open space here. There'll be a 30-mile trail system. The town of Pittsboro will have the best developed park system of any community in the state when this place is built out, because these are all public parks. So rather than the way a lot of developments have historically been done, where they build a great amenity package that is designed and supported by the residents, this will all be open to the public. It's designed where within a 5-minute walk of any residential unit, you'll be able to go to some type of park, active park, pocket park, things of that nature. There's the 30 miles of trail. They've done some other neat things, one of which is they've built 3 of about probably 5 to 6 planned pollinator stations. We have one here. We have some honey. This is our first deal. We're going to give away some of this at the end, so I hope everybody.
Where are they?
It's up front. We actually had to move them. It was in the front just past UNC Health. We moved them to the Beekeeper down on the Rocky River while they're changing out from the sort of pole and wire stoplight system to an actual metal pole system. And so we had to move them to protect the bees, but they'll be back in the spring. But there's between ours and there's one at the wastewater station and one down near the solar farm. There's over 500,000 bees. They have a 5-mile radius. When we add the others, it's a pretty dramatic impact of bringing that sort of honeybee population to the area. So there's a lot of neat and unique things. I mean, I realize there's going to be a lot more people. We are at their roads being added. The 7.8 mile Chatham Parkway from Russell Chapel Church Road to down near the 3M plant will be finished by 28. And so there's just a lot of, I think, really good things. When you talk about smart growth 20 years from now, this will be the community that people from all over the country will come to and say, how did this happen? Well, it didn't happen by accident. It took planning and patience and capital and a lot of energy, a lot of people that are in this room helping to make that happen.
So that's Chatham Park that you're talking about broadly. Let's dive a little bit closer to home as far as within Mosaic, which is what you've created, and you are truly creating here a live, work, play. You know, upstairs you have people living here, working here, and you know, I've actually seen a couple of bands out back. So truly a live, work, play environment, including 79 West. But what do you think are the key elements to, you know, that are going to serve the citizens, and why are they important?
Well, I think one of the things here, I'll just speak specifically to 79 West, we're excited to get more people in here working and have a place, whether you're here as an individual in a hot desk or you've got a suite upstairs, but have a continuous place where people meet. Because I know when you have people interacting on a more regular basis, there's good positive things, where those are happening civically, where they're happening business-wise, recreational, what have you. I mean, Saga was a good example in Sanford. By just creating that organization and having people meet together, we were able to anticipate and solve problems quicker. And I think you'll see that here as well. And that's what this space is all about and what we want to see happen. And same thing with while we have the events out there. I mean, I was always confident when we activated that yard that we were going to have plenty of people come. And we've had, I mean, we do every other Friday night we'll have either a band or a movie, and we have anywhere from 100 to 300 for the movie, depending on what kind of movie it is. On the band nights, we have anywhere from 300 to, what do we have, Adrian, 13 or 1400 for liquid, 1800 for Liquid Pleasure back in May. And so, you know, there is people that want to do stuff. You see it downtown at SoCo, with Greg's down there with Havoc Brewery. I mean, there's just a lot of excitement that is happening in Pittsboro now, and it's because there's a lot of people here and they haven't had a place to congregate and get together and do stuff. And one thing you said, live, work, play. The thing is, we will be live, work, play, and learn. So we've got, that's part of what we're doing here and what you're bringing with the programming from Innovate Carolina. When first talked to you and Michelle about what, and Judith Cohn about I said I wanted this to be the most content-rich co-working space in the area, maybe even the state, and that was to bring people in like that y'all have brought us from the university and from other parts of our community to come in and offer events like this where people can come and learn, get to know each other, but also hear something interesting. I think we've had, why don't you talk a little bit about some of the topics that y'all brought here?
Yeah, so we also had a fireside chat with the Shibumi Shade CEO. That was pretty interesting. We've done content, so what we've tried to do is do workshops where you have a workshop during the day, fireside chats like this in the evening where it's more networking based. Some of the workshops have been really around either like a marketing 101, learning and identifying your brand as a startup company. Upcoming, we have scaling your business, and we also have we're bringing the law clinic from UNC in November here to spend some time in just like the legal aspects of a business. So those are some of the things that we have upcoming. Trying to think, we've also done a pitch where we've done a pitch 101 type of workshop. And really trying to, one, understand what the community needs. We always do an exit interview at the end, or an exit survey at the end of all of these to kind of say, are we hitting the mark? Are we bringing you content that you're looking for? So we'll do that at the end of this. I always forget, I am the worst at remembering the exit survey. So please remember when you see my email tomorrow or tonight, help us with the exit survey so we can continue to bring different content. So that's
and I'd also like to say that Dr. Chapman was kind enough to put the Small Business Center from CCCC. I said, look, it's great that you have one, but it's sometimes hard for business owners to find it on campus. So if you put it in this facility where we're bringing these folks in and they need that resource, how to write a business plan, it'll be much more accessible. We're going to try and bring some other resources like that. So anyway, whether you've got an existing business that has nothing, provides insurance services or anything else, or whether you're trying to start a business, we want this to be the place for you. And we think there will be a lot of business to business development and helpful by just having everybody in one facility.
And actually, and to that note, we also have gotten together with Central Carolina Community College, their workforce development team, and then we've brought together people from Pfizer and Wolfspeed and Vinfast to talk about their workforce development needs. One of their workforce development needs was around data science. We happened to the university just happened to start a school of data science and society. So we brought the dean in for our next coffee chats, or coffee connections, or what they're called, to sit down and talk to that group along with the community college and the university about what we can do to serve their needs as they're growing and as they're changing, because the workforce of the future is changing as technology is kind of integrating into everyone's lives. So that's another thing that we do on Wednesdays. All right, so you personally have done amazing things. We've only touched on, I would say, probably 25%. And you've done it for the state, you've done it for the region, but what drives you?
It's fun. I like seeing things come together. I like puzzles. I always liked puzzles when I was a kid. I like playing Monopoly with my cousin Frank back there, who's my business partner. And I like seeing things build. I like trying to help people fulfill their dreams and making sure that we have quality jobs. I know when I moved to Sanford after I got out of graduate school, a lot of people in my generation have moved elsewhere to work. Frank went to DC and New York and eventually Hong Kong, and was not that dissimilar for a lot of people that graduated in his class. And that's because there weren't good jobs in Sanford. There wasn't a reason to stay, and that was sad. I'm very happy that my oldest daughter and grandson are just down the road, that we can go see them all the time. And so, having the ability for our children and their children and friends stay in our communities and make them better and grow, we've got to have jobs. The day before the Vinfast, this is another fun story I like. I was sitting next to this young woman at Institute for the Environment. I used to serve on the Institute for the Environment Board at UNC, and I was at a dinner before the Clean Tech Conference. And this young woman was, we had some students and business people, and she said, I said, well, what did you do this summer? So I had an internship with Tesla, and I was like, I almost said it, and I said, I can't say it because the announcement's tomorrow. I thought, next summer you won't have to go to, or maybe in a couple summers, you won't have to go to California. You can go right down to Moncure, which I'm sure was not on her radar, and work for, and go to work for Vinfast. So, that's just a lot of fun to me. My family's been very supportive of allowing me the extra time it takes to do some of this civic work, but a family member was civically engaged, going back to my grandfather. Everybody, they all participated in Lion and Rotary Club and things. They always were trying to make their community a better place, and so that's what I've tried to do too.
Give us the 10, 20-year vision of the area.
The interesting thing when you get most of these companies, if anybody's driven down Interstate 85 to Greenville, South Carolina, and seen what's happened in the upstate as a result of BMW, that's what you're going to start seeing here, except we've got 3 big projects. If you've driven up 421, Future 685, that was another project that I worked with a lot of others on, and the Piedmont Triad Partnership, getting that renamed. If you drive up there and you see the Toyota plant, most of that battery plant, which is what they've committed to build here, there's a lot of graded area that is not being used. I personally feel like they'll eventually put an assembly plant there. And those are the grand slam home run. Assembly plants are the ones that generate these 3 and 4 indirect jobs. And so I just think you're going to see a lot of things happen. And everybody asks me all the time, Sagata, if you read the TBJ, Sagata Marketing is, always kind of, in my opinion, dogging Vinfast. And, Vinfast is trying to do something really hard. They're trying to enter the American car market. So there's, a lot of chances for them to not be successful. However, it's a very important thing for Vietnam. Vietnam's a very important country, the United States of America, because of where they're positioned in South Asia. And so I think they're going to get the resources, and if it doesn't work out, you're going to have a great facility that some other automobile manufacturer is going to want to come over and take and scale for their products. So I don't know that anything is a loss. It may be a little bit delayed, but I think Vinfast is going to be successful. But they've got a lot of challenges. If you look at the various companies, Wolfspeed and Toyota Battery, and the risks that they have to maintain, Vinfast is by far the most complicated. But think about it, we've got chips, we've got batteries, we've got electric vehicles, we've got gene and cell therapy manufacturing. We have all the industries of the future right here. So, and one thing I'll say, I've been very involved in K-12 education, and then community college, and now here at with the Board of Governors. But at the chamber event the other day, they were talking about that we were the highest participation in getting community college credits in our public school system. That is not an accident. That's another program that we worked on collectively with the 3 counties. We started something called CC Works, where the community college, we funded like 3 years between private, and we got some public money from the counties to fund counselors that would be hired by the community college to work in the K-12, the high schools, and encourage them to explain this program. And it's worked fabulously. And so now you have students that are graduating and they're high school, and they already have a year towards either a technical degree, HVAC tech, whatever, or a university degree. And that saves them money. The other thing, the second phase of that, all the counties committed, and now you can, if you're a graduate of one of the 9 high schools in Chatham, Lee, or Harnett County, you can finish your degree. If you start with this program in high school, you can finish your degree, whatever, associate's or technical degree, for free. You don't have to pay any tuition. The county picks that up. So all these things are important building blocks to sort of making all this work at the end of the day. But I think it's going to be, we're the 9th largest state in the country now. Hopefully maybe we'll be a top 5 state. Who knows? If we keep, but you can't stop doing all the things that got you there. You got to continue to innovate and do things to adjust to what's going on in the world.
All right, so what, besides a well-deserved vacation, what is next for you?
Well, I just want to see us, finish up Mosaic and
And
Northwood.
when do you expect that to happen?
This is probably another 3 to 4 years, depending, COVID and the current sort of, suppose we had great growth. I tell, Kevin heard me say this today about 3 or 4 times. I mean, I don't know what economy that they're publishing about, because it definitely feels like it's slower around here and higher interest rates. But anyway, it's going to stretch out our development, but I think over the next 3 to 4 years, we'll get all this completed up here, and, there'll be other things added throughout Chatham Park. So, I don't know, just, who knows, more stuff to come. We'll see.
Awesome. All right, so I'm gonna open it up to the audience. We have